Again, when we accept God's invitation to partner with him, and we are accepting a mutual agreement with the Lord, then that means we must represent God faithfully to everybody. And we have to live in a way that reflects God's character. Any way, shape, or form, when we enter into and do anything sinful, we have to be reminded that we're going to suffer a consequence. No sin goes unpunished. So there's going to be a consequence when we don't follow and abide in God's commandment, the covenant that we just made, the agreement that we just made. So when we suffer a sin, that's the consequence for being in unalignment. That means we stepped out of God's will, and we forfeited the covenant, the contract that we just agreed to be in partnership with. We forfeited it. So when we suffer that consequence in whatever that may be, it may not happen today, it may not happen right away, it may happen tomorrow, it may happen next week, it may happen next month or next year. It could even happen 10 years from now. But we got to remember that that sin is not going to go unpunished. Granted that the Lord will forgive us, he has grace, he has mercy or whatever, but we still got to suffer that consequence of that sin. So whatever that looks like, whenever it looks like, is what happens when we forfeit the contract, the agreement to be in partnership with him. We have to agree to stay in his will at all times. We have to agree to, reflect who God is, his character at all times. And when we forfeit that, a consequence comes with that. And we can't get mad at God when we suffer that consequence, because it comes with that's the part of the contract. So if you forfeit the contract, you can't get mad at God because God fulfilled his part of the contract. Now you must fulfill yours. And God's always going to fulfill his part. It's us who messes up. It's us who forfeits that contract. Not God. And so when we suffering the consequence, we get mad at God. But listen, he's still going to love us, accommodate us, protect us, care for us, provide for us, but we still got to go through the consequence. And that's the thing that we be forgetting. We forgetting that we have a consequence to pay for the sin we did. We forfeited that contract. So we still have to suffer a consequence. And we get mad at God sometimes when we're going through that, like, where's God at? Oh, God's punishing us. God's being mean to us. No, the contract has to be fulfilled. The contract comes with a consequence, a repercussion from what we do. Once we forfeit, because God ain't going to forfeit the contract. We are. And once we forfeit it, we have to realize that there's going to become a consequence with that. So we can't be getting mad at God. Even though we can't get mad at him because we messed up. We forfeited the contract. So when things don't go the way we want them to go, we can't sit up there and be like, God, 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 God. He didn't forfeit it. We did. And so we must stay in agreement with that contract. We must stick with the contract. And once we forfeit that contract, we got to realize it's going to be a consequence. And we got to realize that it ain't going to always happen right away. We ain't going to always get that consequence right away. We may get it next week, next month, next year, 10 years from now. Then when we're like, oh, what is happening? Because, hey, remember that sin you did last week? Remember that thing you did yesterday? Remember that thing you did last year? That's why. That is exactly what happens. So we have to always stay in contract. Once you break the contract, you got to remember there's going to be a consequence to from that contract breaking, because you broke it. You broke it. And that's that. You broke the contract. So you're going to have to suffer a consequence from the broken contract. You can't get mad at God. Can't get mad at nobody else but you, because you agreed to partner with God. So now that comes with certain restrictions, certain responsibilities. Bless you all.